The frozen world of Calacon shivers on the edge of annihilation. Once a beacon of Calacon research, its facilities now lie shattered beneath the relentless assault of Tyranid swarms of Hive Fleet Leviathan. Hidden within the ruins is data. Critical secrets gleaned from the study of the alien bioforms, a last hope to forge a weapon against the encroaching Hive Fleet. Sent from a nearby Crusade fleet, the Space Force descend, wolves unleashed on the desolate wastes, driven to reclaim what remains before the darkness devours all. This is the Battle of Calacon. This is the survival against the swarm. Let's play Combat Patrol. Starting out with the Space Wolves, we got a battle leader here, Thoric, who is armed with a bolt pistol, a mastercrafted bolt rifle, and a mastercrafted power weapon. He also is taking the default enhancement for this army, which is Tireless Hunter, and at the start of each battle round he selects an enemy unit, and when he then attacks that target, he adds 1 to the wound roll, which could be quite tasty indeed. Now, if he is attached to a unit, he has to be attached to an intercessor unit. Speaking of which, we do have an intercessor squad here. A 10-man intercessor squad, all armed with bolt pistol, bolt rifle, and the sergeant has a chain sword. So that's going to be quite cool. And of course, these can be split into 2 units of 5 because they get to take their patrol squads. Then we have a Reaver squad. Now I've modelled them here with some 30k heads with leather masks, as I thought they would look cool and I thought they would suit the Reaver aesthetic very well. They have this special issue bolt pistol, normally the heavy bolt pistol in the game, it used to be at least, and a combat knife. And they also have grav shoot, so they get the ability to deep strike anywhere they want to. Of course, not within 9 inches of another unit, of course. And finally, we come on to the heavy hitter of this force here, the Invictor Tactical Warsuit, a big 12 wound model with a Fragstorm grenade launcher, which has blast, which is going to prove very handy in this game, a heavy bolter, a twin Iron Hail autocannon, and twin Iron Hail heavy stubbers, as well as its fist. And this is obviously where the main heavy hitting quality of this army comes from. Hopefully it can stand up to the bigger Tyranid models. Speaking of Tyranids, let's take a look at them. This is the Vardengar Swarm. The original Combat Patrol originally came with Leviathan, and we start off with the Terror of Vardagast, a winged Hive Prime, Tyranid Prime, and he has Prime Talons, which have 6 attacks with Weapon Skill 2, so that is fantastic. Strength 6, AP -1 with 2 damage apiece. That is a nasty piece of work there. Once again, we're taking the default enhancement here, which gives him a Lone Operative, which is very good, and a 4+ invulnerable save. And every time a melee attack targets him, we subtract 1 from the hit roll, which is going to be very good for him, keep him alive for quite a bit of time. So a Lone Operative, that means we're not going to be attaching him to any kind of unit at all. Not that he can be attached to any unit according to his rules. Then we have the Bulk of the Swarm, 2 units of Termagants, featuring 10 models each. These are armed with their Flesh Bores, which is an assault weapon, has 1 attack, which is Strength 5, not to be sniffed at. So we've got 1 unit here and another identical unit here. So these are going to really make up quite a bit of the army, and going to be, well, they're my main objective capturing unit here. Then we have a unit of 3 Von Ryan's Leapers. I like these models. I think they look really, really cool. They have a Combat Patrol also themselves, basically, so I'll be using that at some point in the future. And they have Leaper's Talons with 6 attacks and Strength 5, AP -1, hitting on a 3. They are really cool models. I just love the look of these guys. Then we have a unit of barb gaunts. 5 of these here, and they have their barb launchers, which is a blast weapon, so not going to do them much good in this game. They have a random number of attacks, D6, but again, strength 5, lots of strength 5 in this army. And yeah, they're going to be trying to bombard the enemy from far away. So that is going to be cool, especially with their disruption bombardment ability, which basically, if you basically in your shooting phase, after unit shot, select one enemy infantry unit that's been hit by one or more of these attacks, and then until the end of the opponent's next turn, the enemy unit is disrupted, and it has to subtract 2 from its movement, basically. So any move, advance, or charge, it takes 2 off. And finally, for this army, the big girl herself, the Psychophage, which has a fantastic psycholastic torrent weapon, which ignores cover and has torrent ability with D6 attacks hitting automatically, strength 6, which is nice. It's also got talons and betentacled maw, which produce an interesting little attack in melee. And yeah, this is a really nice looking model, really nice and big and chunky, and I'm looking forward to seeing how these do on the field. So let's play Combat Patrol. This is our table layout for today's battle, and we are playing a forward outpost mission, which is gives you 4 objective markers, 2 in no man's land, 2 in, well, 1 in each deployment zone, and they score you at the end of the this command phase from the second term onwards 5 VP for controlling an objective in no man's land and 10 VP for controlling the objective in your enemy's deployment zone, to a maximum of 15 per turn. And as you can see here, we're using the terrain found in the Combat Patrol magazine expansion pack, which was £75 for, well, I think that's a decent amount of terrain for that cost. So let's see how we deploy our armies. The Space Wolves rolled off, and they ended up as the defender. And so we're placing a unit here in their deployment zone of 5 Space Marine intercessors. So we split that squad into 2. They've also chosen to put their Reavers into Deep Strike Reserve. The Tyranid player has chosen to put their Barb Gaunts on their own deployment zone's objective in this nice little bit of fencing here, which will allow them to bombard the enemy from afar. The other Space Wolves combat squad is placed here in their deployment zone behind this little aerial thing here, and they are also accompanied by the Warlord there, the battle leader. The Tyranids then place their Psychophage just towards the top of the board. Big, nasty, gribbly beastie that should... Ah, this is going to fare. So, see how it goes. I've never used this before, so I'm the Tyranid player, by the way. So, I'm interested to see how this big, gribbly monster does. The Space Wolf player has now placed their Invictor Tactical Warsuit here between the 2 tactical squads, and this is their last drop. They only have 3 units, well, including the, so 3 drops, and the Reavers are in reserve, so let's see what happens here. They don't have a lot going down on the board initially. It's all about Tyranid drops now, and these Barb Gaunts have the Infiltrate rule, which means they can be set up 9 inches anywhere on the board. That's 9 inches on the board away from any enemy unit. So they have gone right on the 9 inches, and they want to get right up in front and do some damage to those intercessors. I forgot to mention, the Tyranid player did place their Tyranid Prime, Winged Tyranid Prime into Deep Strike Reserve. And they placed their 2 Termagaunt units on the board, either end, one on the, what I'm terming the south bottom of the board, and another at the north end top of the board, as I'm calling it. So at the end of the deployment, this is how the table looks. So we have a lot of Tyranids there on the right side of the board, and the Space Wolves looking a little bit smaller on the left hand, but they do have that Invictor Warsuit, so let's see what that does. And of course, the Infiltrators there, the Von Ryan's Leapers, ready to get straight into the fight. So let's play Combat Patrol. For turn 1, the Space Wolves won the roll-off, so they get to go first. And we're starting with the Intercessor unit, and the Invictor Warsuit moved into a position to shoot the Von Ryan's The Intercessors then open fire on the Von Ryan's Leapers, hitting them a total of 5 times, causing 3 wounds in total. This causes a single lost wound on the Von Ryan's Leapers, so they stood up quite nicely to those bolt guns. Bolt rifles. The bolt rifles being only strength 4, whereas they're toughness 5. The Invicta Warsuit then opened fire and hits the Von Ryan's Leapers twice with its heavy bolter, causing a single wound which bounced off the Von Ryan Leaper's carapace. They then opened fire with its Iron Hail autocannon and hitting it with all 3 shots, wounding them and causing the wounded Von Ryan's Leapers to lose his last 2 wounds, killing him. The Frag Storm grenade launcher then fires a total of 5 times, hitting the Leapers 4 of them, but causes no wounds. However, the twin Iron Hail Heavy Stubber gets 5 hits with its 6 shots, thanks to Rapid Fire 3, and scores 3 wounds, which takes a wound off the Von Ryan's Leapers. The Invicta then charges the Von Ryan's Leapers and makes it into combat with them. It then uses its Invicta Fist to attack the Leapers 5 times, landing 3 of those, which score 2 wounds. The fist smashes through the Leapers and leaves them splattered on the ground, as they fail to save either attack. Each attack takes off 3 wounds, and the Von Ryan Leapers only have 3 wounds each. The Invicta Warsuit is then able to consolidate onto the objective marker. In the next turn, my turn, the Termagants to the south advance 4 inches and move towards the middle of the board. And to the north, the Psychophage and those Termagants move forward as well. They don't advance, but that might have been a mistake. We shall see. The Termagants to the south then open fire on the Invicta Warsuit, hitting it 6 times and scoring a total of 3 wounds, none of which actually managed to do any damage on the Warsuit whatsoever. The Barbgaunts, and oh my, this is not the best photo, is it? The Barbgaunts then fire 17 times, scoring 11 hits on the Warsuit, scoring 5 wounds, and taking 2 wounds off it, which is an absolute fantastic result for them. I feel like I need to really get some big hitters up there. And at the end of turn 1, this is kinda how the board is looking there. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure what else I could have really done. The Psychophage was out of range of attacking the Warsuit. Maybe it could have advanced and, well, it couldn't have charged, but kinda was at a loss of what to do because I just didn't get them forward enough. And I didn't particularly want to charge the Invicta Warsuit with my Gaunts, but let's see what turn 2 holds for us. At the start of turn 2, the Space Wolves score 5 victory points for the single objective they hold in No Man's Land. The combat squad with the battle leader moved towards the Termagants, hoping to take care of them. And the other combat squad makes a dash for the other objective in No Man's Land and advance a total of 2 inches. Great rolling there. The Reavers then deep strike at the Tyranids deployment zone, 9 inches away from the Barbgaunts and the Termagants. But this triggers an ability for the Termagants, the Skulking Horrors, which allows them to make a move action, which they do, and they proceed to move towards the objective, hoping that they can weather the subsequent firing and assault from the Space Wolves to try and score that objective. The Intercessors then move to fire their bolt rifles at the Termagants, but they activate the hyper-reactive stratagem for 1 CP, which causes the Space Wolves to have to roll an extra +1 to hit them. So instead of hitting them on 3s, they're going to be hitting them on 4s. The Intercessors hit 4 times, causing 3 wounds, killing 3 Termagants outright. The battle leader then fires his bolt rifle, and hitting once, killing another Gaunt. The Invicta Warsuit then fires with its heavy bolter, hitting with all 3 shots, getting a sustained hit as well for rolling a 6, which gives an extra hit, causing 3 wounds and killing a further 3 Gaunts. It also fires its Frag Storm grenade launcher, gets 2 hits, which both wound and kill another 2 Gaunts. It then fires its heavy Iron Hail Stubbers, hitting with all 6 shots and causing 4 wounds, which kill the last Gaunt, wiping out that unit of Termagants. Meanwhile, the other Intercessor combat squad fires on the Gaunts to the north and hits them 7 times, causing wounds with all 7 shots. The result is that kills the 3 gaunts that they can see. Now, I'm going to be honest here. We've always locally, and I don't know why, we've always played it as in you can only kill what you can see. I don't know if that's absolutely the rule or if you kill stuff that you can't see, but for us it's always been a case of you kill what you see. So my squad can only see the 3 gaunts, so they've only killed the 3 gaunts. Correct me if that's not the rules anymore, but I don't know why. It's always been the way we played it, ever since I was a kid. Anyway, that was the end of the Space Wolf's second turn, and they've done quite a bit of damage there. As the Tyranids start their turn, the Psychophage and Termagants move towards the enemy. The Winged Prime lands in the Space Wolf's deployment zone right on top of the objective, using Deep Strike, and then using the Teeming Brood stratagem, we get 6 Gribbly Termagants units now placed into strategic reserves, which is great. The Psychophage then fires its Psycholastic Torrent on the Invicta Warsuit, hitting it a total of 4 times and causing 2 wounds, which takes a single point of damage from the Warsuit. The Barb Gaunts again fire at the Invicta and get 21 shots, hitting it 17 times and scoring 6 wounds, taking another 3 wounds off the Invicta, leaving it on 6 left, so they reduced it by half. The Termagants then fire on the combat squad and get 4 hits, causing 2 wounds, which the intercessors just simply shrug off. They love it, they just don't care. Just don't. And then in a move of absolute insanity, my Psychophage then charges into combat with the Invicta Warsuit, hits it twice with 3 attacks and causes absolutely no damage, and oh god, this is gonna be bad. And yeah, it's pretty bad. The Invicta strikes back, hitting the Psychophage 4 times from 5 attacks, getting 3 wounds, and that causes a total of 6 damage to the Psychophage, so he is not doing so well. Unfortunately, the Space Wolves don't score any points at the beginning of their turn 3 because they aren't currently in control of any objectives. They are all contested or under the control of the Tyranids. The Reavers then move towards the Barb Gaunts, getting right up to the fence so they'll be able to clamber over and assault them. The 2 Intercessor squads then move towards an enemy. The one with the Battle Leader moves towards the Prime on the bottom here, and the other towards the Termagants at the top. The squad nearest the Termagants then fires upon them, hitting them 5 times, causing 2 wounds but only killing 1. The other squad then fires at the Tyranid Prime, hitting 7 times, causing 2 wounds, and that ends up with the Prime losing a single one of his wounds. The Battle Leader then fires with his Mastercrafted Bolt Rifle and hits with both shots, causing 2 wounds, but both bounce off the Prime's carapace. The Reavers then successfully charge into the Barb Gaunts. The Intercessors also charge into their target, the Termagants. And the Battle Leader's squad successfully charge the Tyranid Prime. They then strike the Prime with his Power Axe, the Battle Leader that is, landing all 5 and wounding with 4. The Prime is unable to stand against this flurry of blows from the Power Axe. He deflects 1 blow, but the other 2 negate his armor save of 4+ with an AP of 2 and take off his last 6 wounds, allowing the Wolves to consolidate onto the objective. The other Intercessors strike the Termagants with the Sergeant's Sword first of all, wiping out 3 of the 6 there, whilst the remaining 3 are wiped out by the close combat weapons of the remaining Intercessors. On the other side of the board, the Reavers then attack the Barb Gaunts with only 1 of their 20 attacks, with their combat knives missing. Of those, 19 hits only cause 6 wounds. Which kills 2 of the Barb Gaunts, who then fight back, landing 1 of their attacks, which fails to do any damage to the Reavers. The Warsuit then attacks the Psychophage and lands 4 of the 5 attacks, all of which wound, and the Psychophage is unable to stop any of them, resulting in his death. A grisly, bloody death. The Invicta Warsuit then consolidates onto the objective, and at this point the Wolves have all but decimated the Tyranids. In the Tyranids' turns, all they've got left are the Barb Gaunts. All they can really do is try to land some melee attacks on the Reavers. They attack 3 times, land 2 hits, both of which fail to wound. The Reavers then strike back, missing with 5 of their 20 hits, but the remaining 15 hits cause 8 wounds, killing 2 more of the Barbgoints. And at this point, the Tyranid player decides it's for the best if they concede the game, seeing as they've only got the one model left. Well, that was that, and very one-sided it felt like, didn't it? I think first time using the Tyranids ever. I never used them before, so maybe I just need to really familiarise myself with tactics that will work with them, but on the other hand, it was a fun game nonetheless. I do want to get back to doing these battle reports more regular. I've just got to get myself on a schedule that works, because I'm terrible at keeping a schedule, but I've been doing the painting videos, which has kind of worked out and helping me keep a pattern there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you've liked this, drop a comment. Be like to know if you just want to roast it and say terrible photos, terrible armies, whatever, it's all cool. And if you like it, subscribe. It'll be great. All that usual YouTuber nonsense. Like the smash button and all that. So anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. See you later. Keep rolling those dice.